Good afternoon and welcome to people of the World Wide Web. So I'm Cypher Sigma and it's a little bit of a different video to go. I'm going into a little talk. So yes, this talk, trailer, hypes and the internet. So it isn't too specific of what you think I'm talking about. So I'm going to go into it. So this is basically discussing about movies, our views on them and what we think and what influences them. So for me and for movies, my way of thinking has always been it is my decision. So I come from an era of the 80s and 90s where we didn't have the internet, we didn't have a lot of influences. You know, you could read the paper, a lot of most of us did. You know, you talk with your friends who had seen it maybe, and you know, oh, that sounds quite interesting to watch. Or you'd have like the VHSs that you could swap. That was what I grew up on. So you basically were left to make your own decision, and that has how I've been. Now, as I've grown up and I'm in my 40s now, and you ask it, that is still how I kind of go forwards in any movies that I want. Now there are a lot of factors, you know, there are mood, there are, you know, how your day is going, you could be tired, there are a lot of these factors that could influence them, and I'm not really going to try and get into those parts necessarily in this movie, but what I'm doing is about, you know, why I have my view and why I think there are a lot of stuff that actually is harming, I feel, the whole movie. So, and I say point of view, so you know, this term has been battled around, it's guilty pleasure. So somebody's like, oh, you know, what's your favourite movie, guilty pleasure, you know, and stuff. And if someone was to use that on me, it is my fourth favourite movie of all time. I don't think it's a guilty pleasure because I love it, but that's what somebody would class this movie. And this would be the movie White Chicks. I'll blog a poster up there if you've not seen it. Now, this is not meant to be anything seriously. This is not meant to be anything harmful. This is the Wayans brothers doing what they do best as comedy. It is out there, you know, them trying to be people of basically being two white women rather than two men of colour. You can tell that obviously, and you know, they don't really look anything like the normal women. They're just deliberately done like that, and it's stuff. And I enjoy that movie, and as I say, I don't find it a guilty pleasure because I really enjoy it. It is done really well. It you know, it kind of boosted Terry Crews' career. It boosted the Wayans brothers. You know, a lot of people want the second one. I don't think they should touch it, but that's just my personal opinion. But anyway, so as I've said, that, you know, this is my personal opinion, and this comes from back in the day. There wasn't many stuff out there. Now, if we take this movie, if it was made in this day and age, yes, there would probably be a lot of problems with this. There would be a lot of people against this, and this is it's people, and this is why I'm talking about trailers, and this is where I'm talking about hype. Now, we have a lot of good movies that come out. We have a lot of potentially what you class bad. Now, obviously, it depends what you use as a scope to gauge these movies, that if they are bad or if they are good. But we live in a world where there is so much internet stuff, and as I say, I recently, as you watched my channel the day before, I did a trailer for Dune Part 2, and I did really enjoy it, but I said, I must admit that everybody just singing its praises and trying to shove reviews and stuff down your throat really did put me off a little bit, and this is what I'm finding. It can work both ways, and I'm not going to say like this, but I find that, you know, when there is a movie out or there's going to be a movie out, I'll give you the thing, Madam Web. You know, Madam Web was never really going to pass because of all the stuff that comes behind it. I use the same kind of thought process of Blue Beetle. There has been so much negativity towards this movie before it was even out. Yes, before it was even out, and you know, I mean, if you go back and check, and if you think, you know, people saying, "Oh, it's a failure," no one had even seen the movie, but because there had been so many failures or disappointing DC movies, that they canned it, and you watched it, and actually, it's an enjoyable kind of family fun movie with a little bit of a superhero twist, you know. And if you go in and enjoy that, people actually really do enjoy it, and obviously, it's why it's got the special editions, and the special editions are selling well, which is good. But obviously, that stuff, the special editions, everything, that costs don't go into how much money the movie makes. You know, it was seen as a box office disappointment because people didn't want to go see it. And I said, it's this thing of people wanting, you know, to kind of put negativity out. It's rubbish. The movie's not even out. You haven't even seen it. But what you're doing it, and I'll use the example, I've been shared, and you know, being in the community that we are, people share videos and stuff, and I see like these videos of people going, oh, you know, Madam Web's the biggest failure ever. Oh, but now that's a failure. Spider-Man 4 is now going to be a failure. Spider-Man 4, as far as we know, isn't even written. Hasn't even started production. Nobody in their right mind knows what's going on unless you are the director and probably the people involved with this. But there is like this hype and this negativity to release this and go, yeah, it's going to rubbish, it's going to fail, it's not going to be good. You know, they're panicking. I was like, no, you look at the Spider-Man movies. Tom Holland has done really, really well. His movies, you know, his last one made over $1 billion. You know, I don't think they're then going, right, well, we want to create a character that no one's really heard of, you know, and unfortunately didn't do very well. That isn't going to impact Spider-Man in no way, shape or form, because it is already cemented like, what a character he is. People have seen him obviously in the MCU and everything else, you know, and this is what we are getting into. There's so much people out there, and I don't know if they do it for themselves, or I don't know if they do it because they want to cause it, you know, like the kind of trolls online that they go online and they want to spread, you know, their negativity. And I say, it really does harm people. And I know people are saying probably, yeah, they said it, but you make up your own opinion. And this is why I'm saying guilty pleasure, you know. White Chicks is my favourite movie. I don't care what people say. I have my own reasons for it. But as a movie watcher, I will listen to other people's opinions. I'm not going to say I will take them in and go, yeah, you're totally right. It could happen. I'm not going to say it not. But I like what I like, and I give valid reasons for what I like. And that's the thing, you know, because I'm invested in it. Whereas you find a lot of these people, there's movies, and I say I use Madam Web and other stuff, and I've seen people online that go, oh, I really like this movie. You know, next year I want to see like Madam Web, or I want to see, you know, Dune Part 2, or I want to see this. And then you get to review time and people are going, reviews are bad, reviews are good. The reviews are bad, people are like, oh, well, I don't want to go see it then. Reviews are good, oh yeah, I really want to go see it. But that's someone else's opinion, and if you're going to hold your own opinion about what movies you like and you don't like, this is the thing that you don't realise. The internet, trailers, and other people there are hyping up. I use it. I can't remember the bloke's name, and I don't follow his channel. My friend does, and it was like the whole Echo thing. It was Echo trailer drop. Oh my god, it's the most amazing trailer ever. It got loads and loads of reviews. It shows you a story of, you know, of going back and when the Kingpin was younger. It was like 20 minutes of the whole series. The series went on a completely different direction of what the trailer actually showed, and people were like going, "Oh my god, you know, it's really good, but you know, it could fail." But it looked, and I go, "This is the thing. I hate trailers in a way. I feel that we get too many trailers. It gives away too much of the film." And I'll use a prime example of Independence Day Resurrection. I think that's the second one. Apologies if I got it. You know, I watch movies and I try to stay away from them. I try and only watch the first one. If I go to cinema a lot, unfortunately, you do get exposed to some of them, but it is what it is. But outside of the cinema, I try and stick to that. And I saw the trailer for Alien Resurrection. I think it was the first and the second one. I went in the movie, and then like about a third of the movie, half the movie, they killed a queen in space, and like, yeah, brilliant. You know, I'm sitting there like, well, the trailer shows the Queen on Earth destroying an airfield, so ruined. I already know what's going to happen. That whole scene was pointless, you know. And there are so many films and trailers out there that you watch the trailer and go, well, I kind of know, and I'm going to probably use Godzilla and Kong. That movie shows probably about, I would imagine 90% of that movie. They did it with the previous one with the Mecha Godzilla as well. They showed so much before that you don't get the excitement and stuff, and you know, oh, you know, what did he look like? Or, you know, they hinted at it so earlier on. And it just ruins, I think, people's experience. I say the negativity, it flows through people, and I don't think people quite realise how much an impact it is. And it's funny that, as I say, you will see these people and they will go, I like this movie because I like this reason. And then there's the movie will come out and go, I really want to go see it. Poor reviews, they won't go and see it. And then, or they will see it, they'll stream it, or they'll pirate it, or whatever. And then you'll watch the videos and just go, it was rubbish. And then you're like, well, why was it rubbish? Give me exact reasons, and you'll find that people struggle to, because literally the whole kind of herd mentality of, oh, it's rubbish, oh, well, it's going to be rubbish before I've even seen it. You've already gone in that mentality, and you know, and it's just, I hate the fact of this. I say, when I was saying about Spider-Man 4, the movie hasn't even gone into production and we're already slagging it off and slating it, and I just like, where have we got to the point of actually appreciating a movie for what it is? Let's give us one trailer. In my eyes, we should have like a 30-second teaser trailer, and then it should have one full like 2-minute trailer, 2.5-minute trailer, and that's all we should ever get for any movie that is released at the cinema. Just so you don't have to spoil stuff. Let's go and watch it and make up our own minds and not be sheep and listen to what everyone else is. And I know when I'm saying that, people are like, well, you know, if I listen to you, I said, I'm not preaching at you to trying to influence you to specifically watch anything like that, you know. I am saying out here that we don't realise how much around us actually influences our opinions. And if you're watching this, if you like going to the cinema, if you like collecting physical media and stuff like this, if you start listening to public opinion, and there's a lot of negativity out there, unfortunately, that people will stop going to the movies. And if people stop going to the movies or pirate streaming it, or, you know, or just waiting for streaming it, give it time and there won't be cinemas. We will all be sitting at home going, oh, well, the new movie's going to drop. We'll drop. It'll be like, well, it looks all right on my sound system that I've got. Oh, Barry over the road, he said it's rubbish. And then, yeah, and then you wonder why you won't get the big blockbusters and stuff and, you know, good movies you have. And you can even see it's gone from the days of Jurassic Park and Titanic and all these movies, that a lot of them, you know, we went through a period of it kind of being franchised and stuff like that, where they took their time. And then, unfortunately, you know, the franchises even milking it too much. And it just needs, I think just be aware of your surroundings, be aware what you expose yourself to and what it will have an impact. You know, I'm a movie series lover. I still watch what you want to watch, do what you want to do, but be mindful that obviously people around you and other people out there that you may watch can have quite a negative impact. And I don't want this video to be a negative impact. I want people to realise it and to, you know, to actually watch more films. You know, I even have friends that, like, I'll only ever watch something that's 7 or more on IMDb. I'm like, well, you just miss out on so many good movies because of that. I have friends who I talk to who go, this is my favourite movie. They have a tattoo of it. And I go, well, why did you like it? And they're like, well, yeah, it's like a good gangster movie, you know? And I'm like, but why? And they've been to some of the places in the movie and stuff. And I'm like, but why do you like the movie? And they're like, well, it just is a good movie. And I'm like, is that really an excuse, or is that you've just listened to everyone else around you that says it's a good movie and you've just taken it in? You know, if someone says to me, well, what is your favourite movie? And I'll be like, it's The Crow. Why do you like The Crow? Because of James O'Barr, because of the comic book, because of what he went through in his life to create the story, then on to Brandon Lee's death and something like this. I could spin off loads of it. Most of the movies that I like, I will give you those sort of opinions because that's what resonates with me and their reasons. You know, and you'll find these and that's what I've noticed very much. There's so many, when they hate a movie, they won't really pick out, or they'll pick out 1 or 2 points. I'm like, if I, you know, I know I use Madam Web, and there was a lot of bad things with it. We don't know what the reshoot's done, you know, but it's, you know, I don't think it's the worst movie out there. I've seen far, far worse in my own opinion. But that's me. But anyway, that has been my little kind of spat, chat, whatever you want to call it. Trailers, hype, and the internet. What are your views? Do you agree with me? Do you don't agree with me? Do you watch reviews? Do you listen to reviews? Do you try and watch trailers? Or do you just try and keep away from it all? You know my opinion. Let me know in the comments down below. Otherwise, I've been Cypher Sigma Screen Time, and I shall see you in the next one.